Hello, horse players. Welcome to the abbreviated version of our Friday show. Marco is traveling back to Arkansas. We unfortunately had a funeral and a wake. My uncle passed away. My aunt's husband, Uncle Andy. Wake was on Monday. Funeral was on Tuesday, and it was a somber moment, but we got to see a lot of the family and we gave him a good farewell. So unfortunately Marco won't be able to do the taping with us, but we're gonna get the picks out. Nick the Kid will come on the phone for the 9th race for our feature, and we'll get ready for the Rebel on Saturday. Jim Miller from Hawthorne is going to be on the show for Saturday's extravaganza, so you might want to make sure you tune in for that. So the first things first, I'd like to talk about what happened on Saturday and Sunday at Hawthorne OTBs across Chicagoland. Mike Mulvihill, he won both days. He won both NAC contests, and he also collected a lot of points online. And I think he got about 7,000 or 8,000 tour points over the weekend, which is crazy. It's almost unheard of. And he has vaulted all the way in the top 10 on the tour. So pretty amazing. And I just wanted to give Mike a shout out for that. And I mean, I was impressed. I was in the same room with him at Villa Park. So at Crazy Pour. And I was like really impressed at how he played. Personally, myself, I couldn't get anything going. Saturday, I was playing doubles. I actually won all the odd races and lost all the even races. So when you're playing doubles, that's not good. Sunday, I had a horse breakdown, and I had some really nice trip notes on 2 other runners later in the card that hopefully they'll come back for the NHC or some other tournament, or if I play the pick 5. But once again, Mike, hey, job well done. Weather on Friday, it's going to be sunny. Check the weather report, and it's going to be in the 70s in Hot Springs. So it's good to have that for a change. Every time I've gone down there, it's been a little nippy. I actually got this vest that I put over my hoodie when I was visiting down there because it was so damn cold. But I think warm weather is upon us now. It's supposed to be fast and sunny, and it's going to be nice out. So expect a really big crowd this weekend for not only Friday, but for obviously Saturday's Rebel as well. All right, let's dive into some of the races here. Race 1 is, let's see if we can get it here. Looks like a maiden claiming event for 30,000. I actually went to the 6-horse here. I think me and Marco both like the same horse. He picked the 6 second. She's Taboo is 3-1, and my notes here are just speed fade, second off the layoff. Usually these horses that come off of a layoff, they show a little bit of zip, they get tired. They come back second time. It was a speed fade in May at Prairie Meadows. Last time quite couldn't get the lead. Got in contention and just got tired, but hung on for second with the Bug Boy. So Barbosa comes back and should be that much stronger second time off the layoff. Not a really, really crazy tough field. So I thought Marco's top pick, the 7, dropping out of maiden specials. Had some ugly lines over there, but that's from April of last year. So it's coming off of a year layoff almost. 10-month layoff. It'll have to show me that I can fire off the bench. Trainer was very capable last year. Corey Owens at 24% from only 29 starts. Quinn has rode this horse a couple of times, so I'd expect that one to run good as well. Race 2, we have the same combination. It's a allowance, a $50,000 starter allowance. We both land on number 6, Huntsville. And what's interesting about this pick, it's 12-1, but it's Cipriano Contreras, and it's 12-1. I think, there's a lot of trip notes with this horse, and it's working well coming in. I can't imagine this horse going off at 12-1 in here. If it does, I'd have a very large bet on it. And I'd probably go doubles each way, single it, want to try key. And it'll definitely be on my pick five. But it's had a lot of interesting trips if you go back and watch the replays. And I think this is just going to be a little bit of an easier spot here. And it should run a number similar to what it did two back without it, getting shuffled and all that stuff. So I'm excited about Huntsville 12-1. And at the same condition last time, it went off at half those odds at 6-1. I'm expecting this horse to get bet a little bit. But if it doesn't, hey, I'll take it. Race 3 it's a maiden claiming event for $30,000. Me and Mark both like the 4. So Marco, me and him were thinking the same thing here. If you guys haven't noticed, Chris Hartman and Joseph Belmer, they're off to a really hot start as far as the jockey-trainer combination. They're at 36% at the meet so far. And Belmer's been riding really well. Very aggressive rider. I think he'll put this horse, this gelding, in the race early. He's not afraid to go up the rail or in between other horses. And we're getting 7 pounds as he's a 7-pound bug. So whenever you see Hartman and Belmer, you might want to take a second look at it. And same thing goes for Hartman with Bejarano, because they had a killer Sunday last week. Race 4, we're a little bit different. We both like the 5. That's a starter allowance going 2 turns for Arkansas breds. And I'm going to fade Hissy Missy off of the short layoff here. It's crazy to me that Stoic Loon on that race ran last. And, there was a couple of issues there that we'll touch on next time she runs. But this one won with just a 70 by her speed figure that day in open company. I just can't see her coming off the short rest and winning this. She will probably have a pace advantage if the 9 doesn't break well. But, I landed on the 10 here, Lady Astrid. Now, Lady Astrid exits, a tough race where, Sulwy comes back in here from that same race. But it was just a really bad, outside draw. It just got a bad trip. It was wide throughout. And I'm going to draw a line through it, second off of the layoff. Probably needed a race, too. It's got a wide post again. We go to Chelsea Bailey this time. And I'm just hoping that we can work out a little bit of a better trip and, maybe get that fast strip that we're going to get might help her out as well. So combination of being 2 off of a layoff, getting on a fast strip, and, stretching out. I think all those things are going to be kind of are going to aid her and help her out here at 12-1. And we might be able to get a nice price on her. The 5 is my backup, who is Marco's top pick, CC Harbor. That one looks to be just getting a little bit. It got class relief last time from the allowance ranks down to a similar condition against open company. And now being against Arkansas breds, it does look like it might be live here, because it ran a bang out race last time at 40-1. Now you're not going to get 40-1 this time, as you're running against Arkansas breds and you're 2-1 morning line favorite. But I would expect this one to be awfully tough to beat, as anything close to that last race is going to put it right there. All right, race 5. It's a 30,000 non-winners of 2 life event, short stretch to the mile, 2-turn race. I landed on the 6. On the 3. We both like the 6. The 3 is all choked up, and it's exiting a tough race in the mud, and it really bounced around a lot at the start when I watched the replay. That was a 75,000 on 2 life event, so we're taking a plunge here. We're getting fast dirt. Um, this horse did try fast dirt as a youngster 3 years ago, just never ran a step. But I think there was something going on there as it was on a 2-year hiatus after that, and um, came back on turf, ran a couple of decent races. As it went up the totem pole, the waters got deep, and it found it harder to get close to the winner circle. That last race was just too tough. I think this is just the easiest race of its career, and I do like the work tab. That last drill, it looks like 49 flat, 17 out of 73 on February 17th. So all choked up with DeVito and Christian Torres combination at 15-1 is something that it's kind of like music to my ears. The 6 is Rabbit Hound. It's 9-2. It's Scott Becker, Arietta, coming off of a little bit of a layoff, making its 4-year-old debut. Has a beautiful bullet on February 9th, and it's freshly gelded on December 27th. So it's making its first start since gelded. Dropping back down to the claiming ranks, where it ran in some of these optional claiming events where it was not offered for a tag. It's got a lot of speed, and I would expect this one to be very prominent from the opening bell. I did throw it underneath, and it's one that I'll have on my horizontal wagers as well. Race 6. We both like the 4. I like the 4 on top. I was thinking about Fire Brian on top. I watched the replay of the last, and Rom was just much better than Fire Brian. I just like these 2 horses coming out of that race, and I'm just going to pick that same exact again. Rom over Fire Brian. I did pick Rom last time. There's not a lot of imagination or excitement here. I'm 9-5 morning line favorite. I'm second off the layoff. I just feel like this one's ready to pop. The work tab says, it's go time even since the last. So nice bullet move on February 4th, a nice maintenance drill on February 11th. The 6 horse Master of Arms is 5-2 morning line. John Ortiz. These similar, it just won a condition for 24 non-2 life, where it wired from the outside, got a nice 73 Beyer speed figure. Makes a lot of sense here. And, I think between Rom, Master of Arms, and maybe Fire Brian, you'd be pretty safe having those 3 on your ticket. Race 7. See what we got here. We both like the 9 again. The 9 is our backup. This is one that I kind of want to I want to pull this up. I'd like to show you guys the replay of this race. I feel like Lake Radio is going to get a faster pace this time to run at.
3, Rob the Rich in, and we're ready
And
to
I
go.
think that Lake Radio might be able to reel in Jackman. Jackman has been offered up for a tag, which is kind of like, okay.
And Larough. Good beginning from Vulcan, who fires out fast. Jackman's got early lick, too. These 2 hook up in the first furlong, putting 2 lengths on Lake Radio, who runs in third with Deflator. Rob the Rich is next. Joe Frazier in the red jacket, racing with Slam Dunk Sermon between horses. Now easing off the pair to race 7 or 8 behind the top 2, who are right together approaching the 4-turn run. Macron is third last. St. Andrews at the back with Blue Kentucky. And actually, there's one way far out of it. Beer Chaser and another zip code as they round the 4-turn. Vulcan inside, Jackman is outside, and there goes Jackman in the red, striding to a narrow lead. Vulcan trying to stick with him around that turn. There's still 2 clear of Lake Radio, sent along from third. Deflator is backpedaling down on the inside 4 lengths behind. Rob the Rich swings to the extreme outside. Macron's getting into gear now, but still has 7 lengths to make up on Jackman, who approaches the furlong pole, putting away Vulcan, who's back in second clearly. Jackman kicks to a length lead. Lake Radio trying to get up into second and trying to reel in Jackman, who is a 16th to go and a 2-length advantage. Lake Radio is charging hard. Jackman holding on. It's going to be Jackman to win it. Lake Radio was second, and third home in the race was Vulcan. Fourth, either Rob the Rich or Blue Kentucky.
So I thought Lake Radio ran a really good race there, and I like the gallop out here. And, I feel like the pace is going to be a little bit more contentious. And Lake Radio, they claim this horse for 32,000. So this is a very ideal spot with this purse. I think the purse in this race is, it's $60,000. So, they're by no means giving up. Jackman, I remember when I had Carl on the show about 3 weeks ago or so. We singled Jackman. We hit the pick 5. He really liked this horse and likes it. And, he's offering it up for a tag here. So I'm like, is there something going on here? Maybe it's a little long in the tooth, or maybe there's something going sideways on it. But I just felt like we could maybe, try and beat Jackman with Lake Radio. And Lake Radio might be prime. He's 4-1. So it's not like he's a real big bomb. Jackman is the favorite, but being 4-1 now, from 8-1 last time, does that excite me? Not as much, but I really like the way it ran. Now, after saying that, it is entered on the 24th. So if we don't get in, I'm gonna probably just land on, Jackman then, and just say, hey, okay, I want to see Jackman lose before I pick against him again, unless it's Lake Radio. So that was my thinking there. Marco went with top pick of Air Combat. Now it's an Asmussen, and it's 20-1. So Asmussen's been really doing well at the meet lately, especially, and he's been hitting with bombs, and we've been hitting a few of these bombs. Sometimes we're even getting like screwed out of like horses that don't look obvious. We leave them off of our pick 5, and we ended up hitting 4 out of the 5 in the sequence because we left the Asmussen off. So this is one we're definitely not going to leave off. And, it is 0 for 3 at Oaklawn, but if you dig deep into those Oaklawn races, it ran pretty fast. 85 buyer speed figure, an option claim is $62,000 race a couple years ago. In January, it, broke out, bumped a horse, didn't have a clean trip that day, and then it ran much better at Houston in an allowance race. So it's back here. It's in for a tag, and 20-1, you want to see that. I love it's a lightly raced horse too. So, but I love the price, and it's 3 for 7 at the distance. So can't complain about that. Race 8, guys, is $140,000 allowance race. And I believe this is where did I go here? Oh, yeah, I went with the 3. Yeah, Trackmate. So I'm landing on a bomb here. Trackmate is a D. Wayne Lucas runner. It's cutting back. It's second off of a layoff, and it's exiting a really tough race. So, Sun Thunder, I think, runs. I don't know if I think it's running this weekend. That was a tough race last time. They're putting the hood on, and, we'll see second off this layoff what it can do. But if it can run something closer to what it did when it broke its maiden, or that allowance race at Churchill Downs, we might be in for, a really nice run here. And again, it's cutting back. It hasn't done as well going 2 turns. The debut going 2 turns on turf wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It kind of got tired. Last time it couldn't keep up, and it didn't, the longer it went, it just couldn't get its action and keep going. Um, Sprinting is what this thing wants to do. Even the 1 turn mile at Churchill, September of 22, it showed some speed and it got a little tired. And I know it's a 1 turn race out there, but what I'm getting at is I think the 6 furlong trip is going to be it's a cup of tea. And with the hood on and cutting back, I'm kind of excited about it. And Nick Juarez is in the irons. The 8 horse, Zambezi is another Asmussen for Marco. And, you know, it makes all the sense in the world just because on a fast strip sprinting, it's dominated with some big numbers. Now, when I say dominated, it's run against some buzzsaws and got some big numbers. It's run second 3 times with 80 plus buyer speed figures, including 87 by a head, 2 back at Churchill going 7 panels. The last race was a credible effort. Lukewarm beaten favorite that day, ran a good 4th. Deserves a shot here on a fast strip, 100%. Outside draw, should be able to, work out a nice little trip out there. All right. Well, let's get Nick the Kid on the phone. And let's see if we can talk about the feature here.
Hello.
Nick, what's up, buddy? We're getting ready to talk about the feature.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's dive into this race. It's the 9th race. It's a allowance. This is, you might have a Count Fleet horse in here, Tapatio Leo for Pete Miller. I have not seen a horse for a half mile this fast in North America. This horse runs sub 44 seconds in some cases and keeps going. And it looked pretty good off the shelf here at Oaklawn. You're going to try and beat this horse. It looks like you like Devil's Tower. I have the 3 on the graphic, so I apologize. Let me fix it. But it's number 5.
Yes, I do have the 5.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about it.
Got a 3-win streak going on. It is dropping down from a black type stake to allowance, trying to hope to pick up another win. And I believe it is in a 8-1 winning line. And I'm trying to. This field is really wide open. I mean, you got the 3, but Asmussen, once again, they're coming out of stakes races trying to drop in for a win, And so I believe let's continue the streak and get a 4th win on Devil's Tower.
Okay. That's interesting. It is on a 3-race winning streak, like you say. Delta Downs, 5 panels. Was a stake race in the slop. It's a 14-time winner. I think the waters are a little bit deeper here, personally, myself. But hey, I'm not gonna rain on your parade with the 28% trainer and a horse that's 8-1. Me and Marco actually landed on the same combination. We're 3 over 2. We landed on Rivet, who is Asmussen, coming off of a little bit of a break. And what I like about Rivet, this is the 4-year-old debut, and a lot of times these 4-year-olds come back really strong. This horse likes to win. It's got 6 wins and 13 starts, and 5 wins and 8 starts at the distance. And these 4-year-olds, they usually are bigger, stronger, faster from their 3-year-old bow. It has run here at Oaklawn. It has 3 wins from 5 starts. It actually broke its maiden here last year, and it won the Bachelor last year. So it is a stakes winner on the surface. And I think Asmussen probably has us on like really tightened up and ready to go here. You know, he probably didn't want to try some of the big boys tomorrow, but this looks like a really good spot considering the purse. This is kind of like a stake race anyway with the $142,000 purse, and I think Rivet can probably sit just off the pace. And I'm just hoping Tapasio Leo gets softened up a little bit by a few of the others. I think the one Sir Wellington's going to have to go from the rail, and Tapasio Leo might get in a little bit of a speed duel there, which is easier said than done because Tapasio's so freaking fast. He might pop the lid and go out like to a 2-length lead right out of the gate. Excess Magic is probably going to press the pace. Excuse me. Came off the shelf and ran in the King Cotton against Skelly. And that was a very fast race. And, you know, didn't embarrass himself there in the mud. And even won at 5.5 furlongs. So that was a sub 45 second, 44 and change. I would expect Excess Magic to press Tapasio Leo as well. So that's where I'm hoping Rivet can just sit in that second flight and just work out the perfect trip and blast home at the wire. Your horse, Nick, it's probably going to get a similar running style to my horse. And it's just going to be a test of wills of which one's going to be able to, you know, come home faster. Is it going to be Rivet or is it going to be Devil's Tower? Do you have anything else to add?
No.
No. What I wanted to touch base with you. I was at the contest over the last weekend at Hawthorne. Mike Mulvihill, he won both days. I was in the same room with him, and he turned $300 into $5,000 and $800 respectively. I have never seen that since I've been playing contests at Hawthorne for the last, 8 years or so. So I was pretty impressed with that. I wanted to get your thoughts.
No comment.
No comment. Okay, Nick. Hey, you have a good day.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Bye.
Hey, no comment. I don't know. I thought Mike was incredible. Anyway, that's Nick the Kid. He's our eccentric horse player, our Cowboy Ray, if you will, from Old Man Cow. All right, so let's dive in. Let's dive into the nightcap, and then we're going to move on to the Rebel card tomorrow. The nightcap, I landed on the 7. The 7 is a McPeak-Belmer Firster combination. And these are Archiebreds. So it's interesting seeing Kenny McPeak with the Archiebreds. And, you know, I saw McPeak win with the Firster today at Turfway Park. That was 14-1. Taping this on Wednesday. Horse looked just like this one. So Belmer's getting the bug. We're getting a lot of weight on these, 7 pounds. I think the work tab is decent. It's been working steadily. They only spent $2,000 for this horse at the sale. When I look into the siblings, there's not really too much there. You know, this colt's half to another one named Lee that ran one time and hasn't come back, and then a 4-year-old filly named Fast Gal that broke its maiden at Turfway and ironically never ran. Well, it's not an Arkansas bred, that's why it's a Kentucky bred. But point being, a couple of siblings, nothing to write home about. But I like the fact that McPeak is part of the Arkansas program. I like getting weight. I think the work tab is pretty good. And I don't really see a lot in here that's going to be like, hey, I got to play it. So that's where I landed there. The 2 is my backup. It's Marco's top pick. It's another Firster, Enigma Code, Ron Moquette, with that Asmussen. A real nice drill on February 3rd. 48 and change, 5 out of 63. January 11th, 48 and change, breeze, 11 out of 159. So those are a couple of really nice breezes that you can look at and hang your hat on. It was breezing out of the gate on February 10th, 49 and change, 23 out of 75. And then it had a maintenance drill last week. So, 2 posts, get out and go from down there. If any of the firsters don't do anything, I think the obvious one is the 10 with Tammy Hornsby. And then maybe Cheese Whiz. I picked that one last time. Disappointed me. Disappointed me enough where I don't want to come back to it today. So we'll just leave it at that. That's it. Anyway, guys, I am going to have Jim Miller on tomorrow for our Thursday taping, for Saturday for the Rebel. It's going to be a nice show. Make sure you guys tune in. We've been doing pretty good with our content. And like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. We're growing the subscriber list. And like we like to say, let's cash some tickets. We'll see you guys.